Good morning. Welcome to Good Medicine. How are you guys doing out there? If you say good, then you're in the right place. If you say bad, you're in the right place. Because let me tell you, today is all about positivity. What is positivity? Positive thoughts, words, and deeds. What is positivity? I actually looked it up for some reason. I don't know what positivity is, but I'm Holly Davis, and I'm a counselor here in Las Vegas, and I'm a big believer in being positive because I think it is directly related to how you think, feel, and act. How your thoughts are is how you are. It's how you be. It's how you be. So I watched a really great movie last night. It was about body, mind, and soul connection, and it says if the mind is happy, the body's happy. And I know that there are times that we get into situations, funks, I don't know what else you call it, a bluey, bad situations happen to all of us. You can drive down the street and hit a road bump and you're having a bad day, or your fries are cold, or you had to wait too long, or disappointments in life. And of course, we all suffer from disappointments, and perhaps it's our own disappointment in ourselves. That's a huge one I notice. However, if you stay in that, and it's your choice, I can guarantee you're not going to feel good. You're going to be feeling very negative. However, today's program is about positivity, and today I have a very special guest with me. Her name is, I call her Gina. Gina. And
hi, Holly.
Hi. Thank you so much for being my guest today, because you're one of my favorite people in this town and one of the most positive, bright spots in this town, I can personally guarantee.
That is so beautiful. Thank you very much.
I don't know how I can guarantee it unless you just get up and go and meet Gina yourself. I'm going to give you all that information about who, what, when, where, and how. But let me give you a little backdrop on why being positive and finding those kinds of bright spots on the planet are important. My approach in therapy is to be a strength-based approach with all the clients I see. So when a client comes in and they tell me their life story and all the things that happen to them and the negative things, I don't see that. I see them as a beautiful person there's gold underneath.
Good in everybody.
There's layers and layers of stuff that are on you, and all those things that happened to you, the hurt, made us who we are today. And we can either be a better person, or we can be better, and we can be stronger. And
right.
I truly believe that all of the pain in our lives cause us to be stronger. It causes us to know that there's something in me that is pretty resilient and pretty amazing.
Absolutely. They cause us to lift our frequencies up. Hopefully. Some people haven't learned exactly how to bring that energy so that they can use it to their best benefit, because there's not a person in this world that's going to walk through this life without having something happen that might be negative, but it's how you want to carry it. Do you want to carry it as a burden, or do you want to carry it as a beam of light that's going to lift you up and make you a better, stronger person?
Absolutely. And not only does it make you a better, stronger person, and I'm going to give you actually simple tools listening out there, simple tools that can actually turn it around.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be turned around through your thinking. And also using that trial to show other people how we overcome. Because resilience is a hero story that is time told, that it inspires other people. When you've made it through and you got up through the dross and you survived and you share that with other people, then other people have the inspiration
they
to get up and
definitely
keep
do.
going.
Definitely. To be an inspiration first and foremost to yourself, though, because we all have a tendency to not give ourselves the worthiness factor or the pat on the back, or I'm doing a good job, or if you have a difficult week, if things go wrong, if you lose your job or something happens in your marriage, take the moment and use it to benefit yourself, not to cover and make the next day even darker because you can't let go of what was. What was. It's time to be in the now and to move into the future, and you can do that with a great attitude.
Absolutely. Even if things are going wrong around you, it's okay to accept that and just, not fight it and accept that. What you resist persists. However, you don't have to beat yourself up.
You shouldn't. You absolutely should not beat yourself up. Doing that does nothing but tear yourself down on a cellular level from the inside out. So people don't think about that. They think, oh, I did wrong, or oh, I didn't make an A, or I wasn't the first one, or I didn't even place, or whatever
I don't have abs of steel.
And it doesn't matter. That just doesn't matter. What matters is the effort that you put into life to make things positive and have a high frequency and to overcome lift yourself up, and then you ultimately, like you said, lift everybody around you up.
I believe it's true. In college, we called it cognitive behavioral thinking. And I just like to say it's positive.
She did more in college than I did.
And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every bit of it. Because I was investing in myself. It's how you look at it. It could be a drudgery. It could be a pain. It could be that paper that is nagging at you. It could be an opportunity for you to discover and learn and share with other people what you've learned. Once again, it's not about me. This is not happening to me. Life is not happening to you. It's how you choose to go through it and how you choose to look at it. It's positive.
Right. But not everybody takes that opportunity and makes the most of it. I myself I think back in college years, and I don't believe in saying woulda, shoulda, coulda. I do believe in looking back and seeing how things might have been different, or how I might have bettered myself, or what I might have gained more out of it if I had done X, Y, Z. And that includes college.
Looking back is always a good thing to process it, but if you do it, if you can see a positive outlook, and I'm not saying being a Pollyanna, I think maybe do people actually get irritated about that, about positive people? I'm not sure. And I don't actually look
Sometimes they do.
And that's fine. I don't even take that personally. It doesn't bother me. I've always been very positive and always looking for solutions. I know there's problems, and I know there are people out there listening, and the people that I see, my clients that have really, truly gone through major adversity in life.
Sure.
Really bad times. And I never belittle that.
Of course not.
But with a strength-based approach, what I like to do is I need to hear your story if you need to tell it to me. Some people don't. If you need to tell it to me, sometimes just getting it out there and knowing that there's somebody who cares and listens helps to let them process it out loud. We've got these thoughts in our head, but then taking the connection and putting it out there, getting it out sometimes is very healing, just knowing someone cares on the other end.
Just the getting the thought out. If you can raise that from the inside so that you can verbalize it and put it out to the world, you are actually releasing that negative energy from your body at that very moment. It's when you keep it inside and you tuck it under here and you tuck it under there, and the next thing you know, you're having a heart disease, or you're having esophageal problem or a digestion problem. That's holding a negative energy in. So just the verbalization, or even just the thought, if you're by yourself and you don't have somebody to go and talk to, just go into the mirror, look into the mirror and speak it out. Today was a bad day. It was a bad day because of X, Y, Z. Tomorrow is going to be better because I recognize what went wrong today. And now what you've done is you've relieved that energy from inside. You put it out into the world. The world is a much bigger place than we are from within, and it can absorb it. And so you've relieved yourself of that negativity.
I've learned a lot from you, Gina. There's some techniques that I actually even use with my clients, and I don't even know what your background is. And I'd like to get into that. I want to say about how I met you and where I met you.
Right.
Because with a strength-based approach, I look at people in a positive light, and the goal is for them to see themselves in the positive light and the strength and the endurance. So if I hear the worst story about how they have overcome so many trials and symptoms of mental health that are just debilitating, I look at them and I don't pity them at all. I just say, gosh, I admire how strong you are. You are so courageous. I'm proud to know you, to work with you. I don't think of you as anything but a hero in my book, that you've gone through all the things that you've gone through, and simply being here today to invest in yourself, I'm amazed. So how can we move forward now? So that's my strength-based approaches. What are your gifts, talents, and dreams? What's aligned in love, and what's next in your life? So doing that with people and listening to those stories, I get a lot of negativity on me. I don't know exactly how you would describe it, but
it's energy. They're putting out energy. It's coming into your space, and then you can't help but absorb some of it. So you have to make sure and cleanse yourself of anything that might be left over. You're not shunning the person that you just talked with. What you're doing is making sure that when you leave the situation, that you leave whole.
That you don't take it on with you. You don't get it
not.
on you. You don't get it on you like our Las Vegas slogan, Sin City here, right? Even just in the city on the drive in, and then listening to some of the things that I listen to. I make a conscientious effort, though, however, throughout the whole time, and even before I go in, I gird myself up with strength and prayer and protection, because I believe that's very powerful.
It is very
prayer
powerful.
And meditation and any kind of strength that I can take before I go in, because I'm also an example to them of what being strong and being an example to them it is. And I've sat on the other side, so I understand. I've been in those places.
Sure.
So
I think everybody has, maybe not to the extent of some of the people that you might see, but it's all relative to any individual that's going through it. It's all relative.
that's
So-
true, because their trauma, disease, disaster might not be, it might be worse, or it just what is perceived.
Perceived as worse.
I got and my nail fell off today, and that's it's bugging me today. So I once again I'm Holly Davis. I'm a counselor here in town, and my number is 702-626-9400. I'm hoping that is correct because I don't call myself very often. However, I am a therapist here, and if you need somebody that you would like to work with, because sometimes just getting professional help to get some of that negativity out of your life. If you're miserable, that's your cue and the clues that are in your life that you might need somebody to talk to that's a positive person, who's a role model, who's a cheerleader. And I definitely am positive. So
Definitely
if you have a problem
positive.
with that, you might not want to call me, because I'm always going to look for a different perspective or see something that you didn't see, or get you to think about things. Not what I want you to think about. I just want you to see some things that I see. And it's always, for me, it's always good. It's all good when I work with clients with a strength-based approach. That's what I do. So one day I was driving down the street, and I keep seeing this sign over and over. It was Gina, positive living in Sin City. That's going to catch your eye. And it was maybe subliminal for the first couple of times. Almost like the health, healing, and happiness conferences coming up. There's these little red cards, and I kept seeing them all the town. So when you keep seeing repetitive signs, that's your sign, right? I'm stealing that from a comedian. So that's your sign.
That is your sign.
So I'd keep seeing this, and it's right behind the donut shop in town. So I'd see that, and I might have frequented the donut shop a couple of times. I keep seeing this Gina, positive living in Sin City, and I'm thinking, is this a support group? Is this United Way? Is this drug and alcohol?
restaurant?
Is this a restaurant? Is this a doctor's office? Is this a counselor? I didn't know what it was, but I was riveted, and I had to know. So one day it's right behind Walgreens and a donut shop on Rainbow and Tropicana.
Correct.
And I was in the Walgreens line, and it was forever.
I
This
do remember
line.
looking out and seeing about 20 cars out there.
I'm like, what? And it was one line, starting to get negative. And I saw that sign again, Gina, positive living in Sin City. And you know what? I don't know how, we have our, access to everything at the fingertips. I'm looking up, I'm looking for a phone number. I'm thinking, what? I gotta know. So I call, and you answer the phone, and I'm still open. I'm about 5 minutes. Of course, one of those last minute persons that
I love those kind of people.
what is this? Do you mind if I come in real quick? Well, I'm going to leave.
2 hours later.
I literally pull out of the 20 line, people in the line, and I pull up to Gina's store. And what I'm going to tell you that I discovered, you guys stay with me after the break, because I want to tell you I've discovered something that is like I guess an oasis in the desert for me, okay? And for what I do, this is the place that I go. It's my happy place. There's not an ocean here. There's not, beautiful green grass. There are some places like that here, and you've got to find that for you. But for me, what heals me and what makes me happy is Gina's store. It's called Gina, Positive Living in Sin City, and we're going to tell you more about it when we come back from the break, and I'll tell you what I discovered there. Welcome back to Good Medicine. I'm Holly Davis, counselor here in Las Vegas, and I'm sitting here with a very good friend that I'm thrilled. One of the first people that I thought of when I started this program was, I'm going to get Gina on. I'm telling you right now.
Aw.
Can't wait to get you on. Gina has a store, and it's called Gina. Your name is actually Gina, but I call her Gina. The store
Say
is called
Gina.
Gina, Gina.
Correct.
And it's Positive Living in Sin City. And I'm going to tell you, the first time I went in the store, got out of the line at Walgreens because it was too long, and I was just so fascinated and riveted. Like I had a curious quest. What is it? Whatever it is, I'm sure I could use it. It's positive, right? And I need positivity in my life. I have to have it. Doing what I do, and I also have 500 kids, literally, because I also work with children. So
Right.
I'm always giving out to everyone. Everywhere I go, I feel like I have the soup.
You're very generous.
Ladle, and
Very generous.
giving out to others. So I have to, and even in school, we learn that it's extremely important when you are working in the helping fields. If you're a parent, if you have a job, if there's any demands on you, which all of us have, you have to do self-care. And what does that look like for you? Do you know what self-care is? What do you do to take care of yourself? Because you're taking care of everybody else. And so when I walked in this store, the first thing I noticed is the smells. It smelled really, really clean. The floor had little pebbles. It wasn't the regular.
It's Pebblestone. It's real Pebblestone from Arkansas. Real turquoise in the little dolphin's eyes from our first anniversary. When we designed and built the interior of this building, it was very important to us to have natural aspects flowing throughout the building. We built it, designed it so it runs in a vortex on the inside. It's the Positive Living in Sin City, Gina Boutique on one side, and then the studios, because Johnny's a professional musician, and he's also writing a whole series of healing music for my side.
And Johnny is Gina's husband.
Amazing man.
Adorable and talented, I might add.
And he loves Halloween.
Who doesn't? No.
Right?
No, I'm sure there's some people out there, and that's fine. But I'm going to tell you something. This store, when you walk in and Gina explains to you all the things that are, everything in there is full of intention, and everything in the store has a purpose.
Absolutely.
And I could be in there for hours listening to even her cards that she has hand selected each one to be poignant for the person that you are sending that to. So the intention when you send a card is, not only did I just pick out a card because I was thinking about you, but I picked out one that I would want to touch your life and let you know that I really, really care about you. And so everything in your store.
Thank
and I
you.
want you to tell
Thank
them
you.
about the things that are in your store and why they're so healing, and why I have to go every month, whether I need to or not, just to go and see you too, because you're a great gal.
Thank you.
But tell me the backstory of how this got started.
Well, we actually had been to some New Age shops and some places in Hawaii and up to Sedona, and we'd come out of LA, and we were trying to figure, what do we want to do here? And we said, we want to open up a boutique in Las Vegas, because at the time there's still not many places like this in the city, that somebody can go and get something for themselves or a unique gift for a friend that has meaning and purpose and sensibility in somebody's life that will actually lift their spirits up or enhance their environment or bring positiveness to their personal well-being from the inside all the way out, because our motto is not just enhance your mind, body, and soul, but enhance your mind, body, soul, and personal environment, because that's what you walk with, that's what you sleep with, that's what you go to work with. And then this started with the idea back in 2005, actually. In 2007, we found the space that we wanted to build out. And then in 2010, I had breast cancer. And that was just, it's a shock. Of course, I knew at the moment that why I had it. I had let my energy go down. I had let things in life suffocate me. And the minute I was diagnosed, actually, I wasn't even surprised. I looked at the doctor and I said, so what do we do next? Because I knew that this was something that I had allowed to come inside me and I wanted to remove. At that point, we started reading and discovering how important it is for what you inhale in your atmosphere. There are so many incense and diffusers and
Plug-ins
and candles, and they diffuse this scent that actually smells kind of nice, but it's a synthetic. And you're putting a synthetic scent into your atmosphere. Those molecules go into your system, and then your body has no choice but to fight it, because it's either fight or flight, and your insides of you are not going to fight. It's going to start fighting. So you start robbing your cells from hydration, and your cells turn around and rob your vital organs from hydration. And this has all started because you put something synthetic into your atmosphere. Same with what you put onto your skin. If it's not a pure property or has phosphates or parabens in the wax, these are things that you do not want into your body.
So you're talking perfume, you're talking lotion, you're talking shampoo,
Absolutely.
deodorant, everything that you put on your skin, because our skin is one of the biggest, it's our epidermis is our
Largest organ on the
largest
body.
organ, and absorbs.
Everything.
Why do we have so many pores? Because of the toxins, we sweat it out, but it also absorbs as well.
Absolutely brings hydration in. Every single cell is a is a porthole to the inside of your body. So if you're putting a cream on your body, or you're laying out in the sun and you have baby oil on and those kinds of things,
Crisco, you guys remember that?
baby oil and iodine.
Back in the day, no sunblock.
Right. Well, that gets inside your body, and then you have to combat those things. They become free radicals within your body, and you have to combat them. So our philosophy became remove from our life as much as possible. We're human. I still like a hot dog from time to time, but we do organic as much as possible. We do little as meats as much as possible. Obviously, if your body craves it, and feed your body what it needs. But we need more vegetables, we need more fruits, we need more water that's good for us, that's going to hydrate us, that's actually going to go in and hydrate us and not steal from the vital organs and steal from the
So what you're
cells.
saying is we need purity.
We absolutely
We need purity, positivity. You know what? This is a good time to do a plug for the Health, Healing, and Happiness Las Vegas 2015. This is an annual conference, and this is the fourth one, and it has grown exponentially. I think people in Las Vegas and wherever you're listening, we really are at a point where we're just sick and tired of being sick and tired and the misery. Like, what can I do differently? And if there's a conference called Health, Healing, and Happiness, that might be your sign.
It's going to be a fabulous conference. I have a very good friend, Sheila Z. She's an author. I carry her book in my boutique, actually, and she's one of the guest speakers.
Well, it is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Tuscany Suites and Casino, and if you need the number for that, it's 702-772-9401, and figure it out how to get there. And know that if you do, it's an investment in yourself of health, healing, and happiness, because our environment is very important. So when I talk to clients, I try to explain that, of course, when you're thinking negative thoughts about yourself and others, ever read The Four Agreements? Great book.
Is it a good book?
I recommend it. I highly recommend that book to most of my clients, because the Four Agreements, one of the agreements is never talk negatively about yourself or others. How radically different would your life be if you, and when I say negative, when you're saying ugly, grotesque, untrue, irrational things about the situation that you're surrounded in, it doesn't help.
And negative doesn't even have to be ugly, grotesque. Negative can be, I make it a point when I see somebody on the streets, a homeless person or a homeless child on the streets, a lot of people's first impression is to go, oh, and ooh, and well, you have to understand that's the energy that you're putting out to that person. So if you can raise your frequency and say, I wish you a good day and I hope things are good today. So just that little bit of energy, that little bit of positive energy is going to reach that person that might not have had a good day on the street and lift them up that is better. Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think smiling at another individual, what happened to the good old-fashioned smile? In my blog, which at www.goodmedicineranch.com, you can go to my website, and there's a blog in there that I write, Good Medicine, and one of them is talking about how little kids will be in the car next to you, and they're going to wave because that's how wonderful they are. They haven't gotten smitten with all the negativity, and I always smile and wave. And my kids would always, we'd drive down the street and they actually even play a game. Let's see who will wave back. And you would be amazed at the great percentage of people that will not wave back at a child. I mean, I don't know. My personal opinion, I just think that they're so focused and so busy, they don't ever even take time to look about the beauty around us. And just a smile and just a wave literally can be something, all that they need. I used to work in a psychiatric hospital, short-term psychiatric hospital. I know I can't help everybody all day, everywhere I go. However, with some of the people, just a smile of reassurance that I'm human, you have skin, I know you're having a bad day, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of hope, and really all that is a smile. And I notice when I go to other places that I shop, not as much as I do with Gina, but when I have to go other places, you walk in the mall or walk in a public place, great people watching. Notice how many people don't even look up from their whatever, the telephone, or just, most people aren't even looking out into space. I would even appreciate that more, because they're thinking, they are so engrossed in whatever they're doing, don't even look up to acknowledge you or to smile or to look you in the eye. Do you notice that? How
I
often
find
that's
that
happening?
the most important time, though, to be my most positive and send out the most positive energy, because they don't know. They actually don't know. I don't think these people recognize that they're putting themselves into this little bit of a hole of darkness. And it's actually where you become jaded. And you start letting the difficulties of life, which when you're a child, you're not as jaded. You're not jaded, hopefully, at all, because you haven't been through and you don't have the responsibilities and the things that have happened over time. So if we could learn through life as you go, drop the energy, purposefully think about leaving any jaded negative thought behind. It's not that you're not going to be having them ever again. It's just that when they come, then let them go.
Let them go. And I'm going to tell you something. There are so many tools in your store alone that I think of it like my little Whoopee blanket. I have to have them before I go to work or whatever, even go into the grocery store. And I won't even add above and beyond that, not just smiling, being positive, being happy you're on the planet. I mean, you do have another day. You know, the best is yet to come. I mean, we're living, we're breathing.
We hope we have another day. So you might as well smile now, because we're actually not guaranteed that. Nobody's guaranteed tomorrow. Nobody's guared the next second.
Make the most of it now.
Make the most of it now. Absolutely. Lift that energy up. Lift your frequency up. Find something from within that's going to make you smile, and then give it to the world.
Give it to the world. And you know what? And this might even be more of a stretch, but my family and I, we try to put this into practice as well. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and we were in the long line at the airport, and everybody's nervous at the airport. You notice they're just, very nervous. Everybody's got heightened security awareness, and after you've been through the rigmarole and taking off your shoes and standing in line and doing, it's nerve-wracking. Okay, so we're standing in line. They're ready to get on the plane, and she goes, "Mom, that's a really pretty lady over there. Should I say something?" I'm like, "Absolutely. You don't know that telling her that might
Definitely.
make her day.
Definitely.
Yes, you should say something."
And every person around that's within earshot. Every single person that's within earshot.
Yes. And she did. She goes, "Excuse me?" And the lady's like, "What? What? What do you want?" She's thinking it's, the shoe's going to drop. And that's negative thinking, And she just, "I just want to say that you're really pretty." And I'm going to tell you something. That lady lit up like a Christmas tree. She was so happy. And it just, you could tell you could almost just feel the heaviness just kind of lifting off. And I believe in doing that all the time. Calling a friend and saying, "I just want to let you know I was thinking about you today. And I think you're pretty special, awesome. And I wanted you to know I'm thinking about you, not only thinking about you, I just wanted to say what a great friend you've been in my life." Try to do that as much as possible. Just a little text, just a little, whatever, your social media, a call. What about a good old-fashioned card? So in your store, I want to get specific. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to tell our audience some of the specific things that I find in your store that I literally, some of these things I'll never, have changed my life. They really have changed my life. So we're going to talk about that when we come back from Good Medicine with Holly Davis and Gina. Best things in life are free. A smile, a "Hey, how are you doing today?" Or "I love your blouse. It's so beautiful. That's a beautiful bracelet that you got from Gina. Oh, yeah? You like that? Let me tell you about this bracelet. I do want to say something about this bracelet. You had this bracelet made for me, and it's explain to me what it is to our listeners. I know what it is, but it has special meaning for me.
So the gemstone bracelet, or the fact that we made it specially for you?
Well, to explain to them the gems and the purpose behind them.
Okay, so each one of the gemstone bracelets, they have a different gemstone. This one that Holly got is gorgeous. I have it myself. It's garnet, and
Which is my birthstone.
Garnet, and it's also a love stone. It's black onyx, which is an extremely grounding property in it, and it's got beautiful, which I had never seen before. The artists that I get my products from are extremely talented. I'm very picky. It's not a very big store. And so she's got rose petal beads that smell like roses.
Smell like rose petal. Take time to smell the roses or get a rose petal bead on your bracelet. And the thing about this bracelet from me, okay, everybody's different and everybody can have a different perspective. Whether this was from rocks from the outside in the gravel, or whether these are very special beads that have special meaning. And for example, we know that the color pink is white and red combined. White is purity, red is luck and passion. And so pink, or kind of like this berry color, is love.
Love.
And so, I mean,
Heart chakra.
If I have to have a reminder, sometimes I even, mark on my finger an X to remember little silly things. I don't want to get a tattoo necessarily, but just little reminders, because we just so often tend to forget to be loving all the time, or to be positive, or to be caring, or to be positive, stay happy, and not let things get us down. You have to have little reminders. So for me, I like these kinds of trinkets and things because they make me very happy. And more often than not, if I have something like this and someone loves it, I usually do the Elvis thing. I give my stuff away.
She's notorious for it.
All the time. I just want them to be happy, because these little things like this make me very happy. Another product that you carry that I have to go replace every month, invariably, you have these little
Himalayan salt energy stones.
It's a stone. It's a big ball, and it's just shaped like a little, probably like a tennis ball.
100%
And
Himalayan salt.
It's a chunk of salt, and I love this thing, and I carry it when I'm even when I'm just driving at a stop sign. I'll just hold the ball. I'll when I'm working with clients that have some serious trauma in their life and crisis that they're working through, I'll just hold it. And so when I hear the negative story, I'm just holding on to that, and the whole time I'm thinking, I'm not going to take this on, and I just want to exude understanding and love, and I don't want to just listen in my head. I want to listen in my heart, so that perhaps their life can change and they can have that effect. Is it the ball? Is it me? I don't know.
It is.
I think it's all of those things.
It is. If you believe that we are energy from within, we're electric. We're got neutrons and protons and electrons. That's electricity. That's coming from within. So every time you speak or you make an action outward, you are exuding that energy. The same thing goes for subjects that are inanimate, that people think are inanimate. The Himalayan salt rock came from the Himalaya mountains, which were formed over 250 million years ago. So that stone that you have in your hand is 250 million years old. That one little salt rock is 250 million years old. So imagine the energy that it took to create that stone or that rock or that salt sphere. It emits just like we do. Just like we emit energy, so do these stones. And so they're actually any property that you want them to be. Rose quartz is love, and onyx is grounding, and the green stones are about the heart, and the blue stones are about the third eye. And this is all injected with meridians and energy and balancing from the head to the toes and all the way around outside in your personal energy.
You know what? I want to share a personal story. When my mom had breast cancer, she was fine for about 5 years and had the best 5 years of her life. I mean, she drained it to the very last drop, every ounce. I mean, she even made me get into a marathon with her. I'm over there, Mom, really?
That's amazing.
She loved every second of life. And I think that we all know that, for her, she knew she didn't want to fight it again. She was getting older, and I'm not really sure why, and I don't even question it. I have a little technique that I use that you actually explained to me. There's a bucket, and all these big questions and things that I need to figure out, or I must figure out, I probably may never know the answers. I just drop them in there, and I explain that to my clients all the time. You can pick the bucket back up if you want,
sure,
or you can drop it and let it go. That's just one of those things that Mom didn't want to carry on, and I respected that. And I, however someone lives is usually how someone dies as well. And it's a very intimate, beautiful thing. It was one of the most beautiful things that ever happened to me when my mom died, being with her throughout that whole process, every step of the way, and saying, of course, at first there's resistance. Well, we'll fix this. We'll get you eating healthy, and we'll do anything that we can holistic to help you, and all the treatment measurements till the ends of the earth. And then if your loved one is ready, then they're ready, and there's no fighting that. You just want to go along and say, the hardest words I ever said was, Mom, I respect whatever you choose. I'm going to support you. If you want to do this, I will fight with you to the end. If you are ready, then I respect that, and I love you, and I'll let you go.
I did the same with my father. It was hard. I didn't want to. He had 3 different cancers throughout his lifetime, starting in his 20s. And every single one of his cancers, he was given a death sentence of 6 weeks or 2 months. And he overcame each one of them. There was a reason in his life, a purpose that he was able to overcome, no matter what the doctor said. My mother passed away, and my dad was just not the same. and he got his 4th cancer. And they told him, this is not a big deal. You're going to be fine. We're going to get it out and you're going to be fine. And he says, I don't want your treatments. And he pulled me aside, knowing how I am, and he looked at me and he said, and I don't want you doing any of what you do because I'm ready. And I had to respect him. And he was gone in 3 months, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. But respecting his wishes was the best thing I could have done, because it makes you understand that everybody has their purpose, everybody has their goals, and everybody has their dreams and desires. We're not here to force you to have different dreams or different desires or different goals. We're just here to help you to understand that if you want to be better, or if you want to gain a higher frequency, or if you want to walk with a positive energy, or if you want to learn how to get balanced and stay balanced where you don't get pulled off kilter, we can help you to do that.
There's tools and there's people.
Absolutely. There's tools, there's people, and there's yourself. Ultimately, it will be you.
And I think that shows you that the body, mind, soul, the spirit, your environment are connected with the I think I can inside you. I know I can. I love that story. I love reading it to my children, and the places you'll go. I like that too, because yes, life has ups and downs, and it's what you choose to do with it. And if you want a positive, happy life, then you're going to have to think with a positive, healthy, happy mind. And when my mom was on her deathbed, I found this stone. It was a Wayne Dyer conference, and they had this market there, and I saw this pink stone there, and it was kind of like a worry stone, I guess it was. And I do this a lot for anybody who is ill. I get them these little stones, and you just rub it. It's just a little worry stone. And I gave her a pink one, and I said, this is the Rose Rocket's love. And she goes, well, why didn't you get me a healing stone? I said, I just want you to be inundated with all the love in the world right now, and that's what I want you to feel. I want you to know how much you're loved, how much God loves you, and how much love. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And I want you to remember that when you're going through this pain and suffering, and how scary that place might be. But I didn't want her to be in fear. I wanted her to just be saturated with love.
And saturate love with yourself. Love yourself. We are worthy people. And every time you state, I am worthy, you are opening up a door that might have been closed to allow positive things to come into you. You have to believe that you're worthy. You have to say it. And even if you're not believing it, say it. Say it, say it, say it. It's like that. Fake it until you make it.
Right. Or go into Gina's store. I'm telling you, when I'm having a down day, when I'm having one of those days where I just got the Vegas on me, and the just the clientele, they come in with their own stuff and their own energy. Everybody does. Everybody has a certain attitude that they exude, and sometimes it bothers me, sometimes it does not. And most of the time, I think I'm pretty healthy, and I'm at the point in my life where I don't take a lot of it on. However, just little things in my own life will trigger me more than somebody else's pain that I've just listened to and walked with them through that. Right. Something as minute, just silly things will, and I think that's with everybody. We get tripped over the littlest things. Imagine when a storm comes. Right. Then we really get tripped up. But there's days that I do have those times, and for me, I have layers in my environment that I will lean on. And so, if they're a friend that is positive and always encouraging, and if you don't have one, get one. Come to my store. Come to her store.
And you don't have to buy anything. You can just come in.
Well,
I'll be positive.
I will guarantee you're not going to get out of there without buying something. That's my personal opinion, because I go in with the intention that I'm going to buy something every time. And I do it for myself. It's my own spoilage, and here's how I think of it. I could go get a cheeseburger. I could go get a donut. I could go drown myself and put a tear in my beer. There's a lot of different things that we could do that are very accessible here in this town. Access. For me, though, or buy a new blouse, and so women and men, we all have things that we do, but for me, I like to go into your store because I always find things that just kind of encourage me through, whether it's a bracelet or a stone or a beautiful card for someone else. She has incredible teas that
organic
are lovely.
Teas.
Yes, she taught me about, I had a sugar addiction with Coca-Cola. After
very bad.
It's bad. And I have excuses and all the reasons why, but Gina gave me a drink there. It was just a carbonated soda water that
it's naturally carbonated.
It's naturally close, so it doesn't have any sugar at all.
No sugar.
Nothing artificial. And so I've been drinking that, and now I can't even finish a soda. So, I'm telling you, there's something healing about your store. It's you,
Thank
it's the
you.
environment, it's the smells, some of the infusers that you have that are not toxic, that smell amazing.
No alcohol. My diffusers, the small ones last 8 months to a year. The large ones last up to 2 years or more. I've had mine open for 2 years. They're 100% oil. So there's
Skincare.
Skincare.
The skincare there, because there's nothing there that has anything that's artificial.
Absolutely not. I'm about natural, organic, vegan. If you're going to put it on your skin, you have to understand that the molecule is small enough, and typically it is. It's going to hit your bloodstream within 15 to 20 minutes.
Essential oils, that's another thing.
Essential oils. Big believer in essential oils.
My name is Holly, and I confess I have an addiction to lavender oil, because let me tell you, if I can't find my lavender oil, it's my mini panic attack. However, I know how to ground myself enough, but it's just one of those tools that I use. So it's a smell, it's a feeling. I love flowers, I love lavender.
Calming, but
calming.
It's also very healing. It's a very healing scent.
So if I don't have any, I'm like, Gina. I'm going to Gina's. It just little things like that. For me, I use, especially when I worked in a hospital setting, I use the lavender oil like a hand sanitizer, because who knows what are in those hand sanitizers. Right. And it's just as cleansing, and it smells great. And then when I'm calm, the people around me are calm, and I notice that. So when I'm positive and I'm happy, when Mama's happy, everybody's happy. So we're going to go to another break, and I want you, we can talk about my perspective of the store all day long. I want you to share the different things in your store that you really love. Everything in your store you love, and that's what I like about it, is there's intention behind everything in it. And there's something you can find, no matter who you are, that is uplifting in this store. Gina, Positive Living in Sin City, here on Good Medicine.
You're listening to
Good Medicine. Welcome to all of our listeners back. Good medicine, where all good things flow. That's my motto in life. Good medicine, where all things flow. Good medicine was actually an ancestor of mine, and she was an Indian. I kind of like to think of her as a princess. She was an amazing lady, and her full name is Damushka Kia, which is Darling Woman, Good Medicine.
Sounds like a princess.
She must have been something else, right? However, she didn't have any children. She died before she had children. So everything that I do, the counseling, the books that I write, the blogging, Good Medicine, this program, everything that I put my hands to, I like to give honor to her and call Good Medicine, and that's why the program Good Medicine. So
Beautiful.
It's where all good things flow. It's positive, it's uplifting, where I'm going to try to get you to someone or something that can help you. The tools that I use in life, I share on the show freely. So you can call me at 702-626-9400 if you're looking for a therapist, or if I can help you, if I have availability for you. If not, I'm going to try to find somebody for you. And also Gina is here with me from a boutique here in town in Las Vegas, Sin City of all things, and it's called Positive Living in Sin City. Tell our listeners what they can expect when they come in. What are some of the products that you carry that you're most proud of?
I am actually proud of the entire store. I carry products in the store that I use in my life. That was how I built my product line. Is I went through my house, and I have energy ornaments that are handmade in the United States. They're absolutely gorgeous, and you hang them on door knobs or on vases, and they evoke the different meanings that the hand carvings are. I have...
What are some of those little words? Some of it like hope, healing, happiness.
Hope and healing, tranquility, strength, and courage. And every one of them is to invoke a positive feeling or miracle. It's a gorgeous, it's an umano bead, and it's rose quartz and white tassel, and it's called the Miracle, and I absolutely love it. I actually can't even keep those in because they go so fast. My essential oils, they're 100% pure. I know where the country that they're coming out of. I know the parts of the plant that they're coming from. I know that they're steam distilled or cold pressed, because if they're not, then that means you have some sort of solvent extraction, and that's going to get into your system. So it's all about purity. I am a huge Himalayan salt fan. I have...
Me too.
Oh, huge.
I have an addiction.
I have one in every single room in my house, including my bathrooms, and I only turn the ones off in the master bedroom when we go to sleep. They're beautiful. They are from the Himalaya mountains. They're from beautiful, untouched mines that they hand pick them, they hand wash them, they sun dry them, and then they send them out. There's no process of taking anything that's good in it out of it. So when you light these lamps up, they start to emit, as they heat, they emit negative ions into our atmosphere. Now, we obviously need balance of positive and negative ions because the whole world is about being balanced. However, with all the electromagnetic frequencies that we have in the world, the phones, the cell phones, the televisions, the radio waves, you are being bombarded with positive ions, which actually start to make you feel depressed and sluggish and down. So negative ions, if you can imagine sitting at a beach and those waves crashing on the ocean, on the beach sands, those are emitting negative ions. After a rain, when you go outside into the world, it feels so fresh. It's because the rain has brought all these beautiful negative ions into the world, and it's uplifting and it's cleansing.
You know what I have to tell you too, I bought one so that when I'm doing therapy, I have greenery in there, and I have a little fountain that I got from your store, so negative ions, and even the stone. And so people walk in and they automatically start feeling calm. And I think that's important, even in our home life, in our car, with just wearing it on us. So what are some other things in your store that you're super proud of, especially proud of?
I have a new product. I love the thought of being able to carry your essential oil with you. There is an essential oil for everything in life. There's an essential oil for a stomach ache. There's an essential oil for a headache. There's an essential oil to invoke passion. I have these brand new, they're absolutely stunning, little handmade terracotta pendants. And they have the Om insignias, or they have the luck insignias. And you put your essential oil drops on them. You haven't even seen these. And you put your essential oil drop on them, and then you can either hang it from your rear view window, or you can wear it. You can carry it
by your bed.
Put it by your bed.
When you're going to that meeting with your boss that you're nervous about, and you take your lavender.
You should never be nervous going in with a boss. If you're getting the opportunity to go and see your boss, whether it's good side or bad side from his perspective, it should always be good from your perspective, because you can go in there and change things.
Take advantage.
Absolutely.
Some of the things in your store that I love the jewelry. One of my favorite stories is before I even started in private practice and working after I got my degree, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was beginning the process of putting all the kids in preschool and moving, in a new transition. And I saw this necklace there and an earring set, and I was like, oh wow, I want that. And it just, because it was beautiful, I knew I would wear it every day, and it had a lot of symbolism and a lot of, just self-care. And
the sea fossil jasper.
Sea fossil jasper, and I'm like, I gotta have that. And I was so happy the day that I finally had gotten to the point where I could wear it. So every time I wear it, of course I think about you, but I also think about having goals, having just inspiration to get you to a place where it is. If it's a piece of jewelry, if there's a scent or a color, anything that you can put in your environment. Smells. Some of those infusers that you have are so amazing. They remind me of the islands and escape, but
Absolutely.
in a healthy way. Okay,
Definitely.
It's in a healthy way of escape for me when I go, because I have to guard myself up to do what I do, and I feel like everything that I take out of there is an investment in me.
It is.
So that I can continue.
It is.
That's how I justify it. That's how I justify my shopping, and I honestly never feel bad about it. I honestly can't wait to go in. So if there's people out there going, "What are you talking about?" It's not going in to go shopping frivolously or unhealthily. There are things in there that are poignant, that have intention, that are healing. It could be for yourself or someone else. Someone who's going through the fight of their life might want to see something that says miracle on it. I just found this in a little boutique store. I was thinking about you.
Oh, my cards. I spent hours and hours picking out my cards. The funny ones, the anniversary ones, I spend hours. And I only have a very small area that I have them, so each one is extremely important. But you need a good card.
Music, too. You have some music in there that's pretty amazing, too. Tell them about that.
I do. I'm a big advocate of music and the healing properties behind it. And I carry the Steve Halperin and the Dean Evansons. And these are writers that go back to the 70s that know what it is to write music that is healing music. They know the notation. They know how to do the mixing, because when you're mixing something like this down, there's a specific way for it to be a healing having healing properties. And then music in general, I feel, is one of the most uplifting
I do too.
aspects of life.
So when I'm on the way into this, to my radio program, not listening to heavy metal, no problem with heavy metal or speed metal or anything. I want to listen to something uplifting. However, you guys also teach music in your
Yes, we
store.
do.
So tell everybody where they can go to see this beautiful store. Give them the address, tell them how to get there.
We are in the southeast corner of Tropicana and Rainbow in the Spanish Trail Business Park. We're behind the Dunkin' Donuts and Walgreens. We are actually in the center of the park. So we're in the center of the vortex, and it's Gina, 6835 West Tropicana.
You have to go. Don't take my word for it, but I can personally guarantee you're going to love that store and you're going to love Gina. I know I do. She's
Thank
one of
you,
my
Holly.
favorite people in this town, and it's always a bright spot for me. It's always something special that I can look forward to. This is good medicine. Everything good, where all good things flow, is good medicine. Listen next week, because I can guarantee you it's going to be something positive and uplifting every week here on Vegas All Net Radio.